What's up, guys? This is Kyrie with White Rabbit Psychedelics, and I get a lot of questions of, is it safe? If I take a microdose capsule, will I? What's up, guys? This is Kyrie with White Rabbit Psychedelics, and I get a lot of questions of, is it safe? If I take a microdose capsule, will I go crazy? I'm a little weary. So I just wanted to do a quick little video on what happens when you take a pill, and just let you know that nothing crazy is going to happen, nothing weird is going to happen. I got a capsule right here. This is pure grade A, psilocybin. I'm going to take a capsule, and I'm going to just show you guys that just nothing can happen. Huh.
The claustrum is a really thin sheet of gray matter in the brain, tucked deep within each of the hemispheres of the brain.
Fred believes the claustrum's central location and shape suggest it regulates communication between the departments.
What happens next is that we seem to observe a radical change in the way that brain regions talk to each other. And it may be within this context that we're experiencing learning and a possible even rewiring of the circuits that govern our behavior. And it may be that it's that radical reorganization that allows people to encounter new psychological insights that they hadn't encountered before.
It's almost like they've seen this kind of grand menu within their mind that they weren't aware of, that this greater number of possibilities that they can explore.
It's like reprogramming the operating system of a computer. You're getting down to very basic code level changes that can enduringly change someone going forward.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash turned you on to LSD. What was that like? Tell me a little about that.
Oh, how much time we got?
About a minute. But you can do a lot in a minute.
A minute?
Yeah.
Okay, it took the fear of death away.
Really? That's a great answer.
That's a big one, yeah.
That's a great answer. But did it hold?
Yeah.
Do you have to keep taking it to not be scared? No, did it hold? Did the lack of fear, the losing the fear of death?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure. Absolutely. Once you've lost the fear of death, it doesn't matter.
How did it, what happened to you? How did that manifest?
Oh, my dear. Have you heard of the white light? Have you ever heard of that?
Only when I'm going into Jersey.
Well, I went into this place that was the white light, where everything's okay.
Well, I think that's worth taking. Yeah.
And I think it ought to be mandatory that all our politicians should do it at least once.
That's a good suggestion. I remember reading that Cary Grant went on an acid trip also in the old days. So a lot of Hollywood people seem to like LSD.
Yes, and college students and high school students and doctors and lawyers and dentists.
The claustrum is
Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective. It's your boy, the Hood Mystic, back with another video. Yes. I was trying to go live on IG. They still block my ass. Shout out to IG blocking my ass. Shout out to y'all for joining me for another video. You know, we just like talking about that real shit on this channel. We don't like with the fluff and the flam. Today I woke up thinking about reincarnation, thinking about Edgar Casey, one of the powerful spirits that help facilitate mankind's evolution and understanding of time, space, and continuum. Today, I asked the question, why are you here? What is the reason that you are on this earth? Is it to bust it wide open for a real nigga? Because it's few people that do that. You know what I mean? And shout out to you. Shout out to all the ladies that's busting it wide open for a real ninja. All right. Um, is it to win your fantasy football tournament? No, I'm so serious. Why are you here on Earth? And if it is to bust it wide open for a real ninja, let a ninja know, right? We want to know if you are here to bust it wide open. But for real, I just want to talk about things other than Shannon Sharp, Cat Williams. Do women cheat? Do men cheat? Do men like girls? Do women like men? Should you go 50-50 or pay 100%? I mean, I'm tired of those conversations. I'm exhausted. And it's 2024. And there's other shit to talk about, believe it or not, besides do men like women? Do women like men? We all know that we ain't shit because a woman told us. But I digress. Let's talk about some other shit. Bro. That was a joke. But anyways, Edgar Casey. Edgar Casey is a spirit guide of mine. Um, Very much fell in love with his story, his message, his relationship with his family, how they continue his work long after he transitioned. I hope that one day my children would do the same thing with the work that I do. Edgar Casey sat in front of people his whole life. He would go to sleep and or go into some form of a trance and he would read. And the interesting thing about Edgar Casey was that it was somebody there to record his messages. So we as humanity can benefit from the thousands and thousands of readings of the great Edgar Casey. That is what we're going to do today. Because when it comes to spiritual information, I could say a whole bunch of shit. And how do y'all not know that I'm not making that shit up out of my crack of my ass? Y'all don't know that. There's no way you would know the difference between a liar and a truth teller. So, because I have no dog in this fight, we're going to read shit. We're going to bear witness to shit. So, when we have spiritual information, it ain't a motherfucker standing in front of you talking out the side of their ass. Every time I listen to us, I don't care who you is. All y'all niggas be talking out the side of y'all ass, and I'm tired of it. Am I the only one tired of spiritual people talking out the side of their ass? Because I might be the only one. One's in the chat. If you tired of spiritual people talking out the side of their ass, just saying what they need to say, don't never be on no topics for real. Just saying the same shit that they've been saying for years and years and years. I'm tired of that shit. One's in the chat if you tired too. Like the video if you don't mind. Share the video if you're too kind. Um, Subscribe if you a dime. I want to talk about some spiritual shit anyways. Let me be the only motherfucker that want to talk about some spiritual shit. So let's get into this conversation. So this is from Edgar Casey. This is a reading that took place who knows. Oh, here we go. June 16th, right? 1933. It was actually, and I'm pretty sure this is his wife. So shout out to the spiritual couples, right? I gotta say this, right? Because that nigga be doing all types of weird shit. That lady be doing all types of weird shit, and y'all could be doing spiritual shit together. Y'all could be doing spiritual shit together. But yet and still, what y'all doing? Fighting, arguing, fucking, eating, fighting, fucking, arguing, eating. Y'all taking care of biological processes together. Let's keep it real. Y'all is not in no form of a spiritual relationship. Edgar Casey and Gertrude Casey, this nigga was meditating, and he was saying some real shit, and she had the pen and pad like writing down every word this man was saying. Keep it a buck, ladies. When y'all niggas start talking to you, you tune them out. Here he go again, talking that old back to Africa shit. One's in the chat, nigga. You know, every time you start talking, here he go again. Okay, whatever, dude. All right, sure. Want me to be more consistent and disciplined? Okay, whatever. You need help with bills? Sounds good. All right, my guy. Why can't you be a real nigga and like pay all my bills? Like, what type of game is this? Like, listen, like Edgar Casey and Gertrude Casey was on some spiritual shit, and it's 2024, almost 100 years later, nigga, and we talking about them. Think about the argument that you having with your fucking baby mama. Are we gonna be talking about this argument 100 years from now? Huh? Maybe I'm missing something. I feel like I'm missing something, or y'all just retarded. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna just keep going. Edgar Casey, the conductor, Gertrude Casey, are conducting a reading. June 16th, 1933, 5 o'clock to 6 p.m. We're not gonna read this whole thing. I'm gonna read it up until the question and answer, but I just want us to have just a conversation on reincarnation, because I swear to God, y'all be acting like this is y'all first lifetime on this planet, and I'm tired of it. One's in the chat. If you tired of motherfuckers acting like this is their first incarnation, it don't make no fucking sense. That's like square one of consciousness, nigga. Like, you cannot be acting like because in this lifetime you is this way, and shit is happening to you in this lifetime. Shit happens to you in this lifetime that you did not have no cause to. Think about that shit. Think about all of the bullshit that be happening without no actual cause. That's because you have existed in a previous lifetime, but nobody wants to talk about it. So why don't I talk about it? It starts off with Gertrude saying, "You will give at this time a comprehensive discourse on reincarnation. If the soul returns to earth through a succession of appearances, you will explain why this is necessary or desirable, and will clarify through explanations the laws governing such returns. You will answer the questions which will be asked on the subject." Edgar Casey responds quite simply, "Yes." That's a real nigga right there. This nigga, man, he is my spirit guide for real. Like, are you going to tell us some real shit that we have never heard before? He ain't gonna give you a long diatribe and go back and forth. Nigga just gonna say yes.
In giving an approach to the subject sought here, it is well that there be given some things that may be accepted as standards from which conclusions or where parallels may be drawn, that there may be gathered in the minds of those who would approach some understanding, some concrete examples that may be applied in their own individual experience. Each soul that enters then must have had an impetus from some beginning, that is the creative energy or a first cause. So, you know me, what the hell is impetus? I don't know. I went to public school. They didn't teach us all the words that we was going to actually be learning. So the thing about a public school person is that we see words that we don't know and we just bulldoze over them like they wasn't there, acting like we have some form of an understanding. And the reality is that we don't know what's happening. One's in the chat if you went to public school. Like the video if you don't. Impetus is the force or energy with which a body moves. Each soul that enters then must have had a force or energy with which a body moves, a force that makes something happen or happen more quickly. From some beginning, that is of the creative energy or of a first cause. What then was or is the first cause? For if the law be pertaining to the first cause, it must be an unchangeable law, and is as I am that I am. From this is the basis from which one would reason. So that would be a more obtuse way of saying the first law of thermodynamics states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only altered in form. Once again, if I'm a spiritual person, I'm literally just talking out my ass. If we can't bear witness to this sentence, then what the fuck is we actually talking about? You cannot exist on this earth and say, this is my first lifetime. It's literally impossible because the first law of thermodynamics states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only altered in form. For any system, energy transfer is associated with mass crossing the control boundary, external work, or heat transfer across the boundary. These produce a change of stored energy within the control volume. So once again, the control volume would be the universe, the whole entire container for which we all live. We live within this container. And if me and you said, yeah, let's meet up in Minneapolis on this date, we would cross a particular boundary. However, the fact of me knowing you, that is an energy exchange, an energy transfer. Everything you do alters your life. It changes your vibration. You can either raise your vibration or lower your vibration. You can do so much in this world, but one thing you cannot do is destroy your motherfucking self. That's one thing you can't do. You could kill yourself and still not destroy yourself. I need you niggas to think about this shit when you start feeling bad about something, or even feeling good about something, or even thinking that you could do something to somebody. See, we're having a soul conversation, and the difference between a soul is that you can't touch it. So when you have relationships and your partner don't like you, the best thing to do is just leave. That's the best thing to do because that person probably want to destroy you and they can't. Think about that shit. Think about your partner seething and mad at you and just wanting to destroy you, even like take your soul out the vessel for whatever reason, because you won't live up to their expectations, standards, whatever the case may be, but they can't do it. That makes us even madder. So that to me, that sentence that he just laid, the unchangeable law, I am that I am, that's a level of past life karma. And boy, oh boy, when you don't understand that and you dealing with a person and they flip on you, dip on you, trip on you, you understand why. Because real love, when real love come in your life or a real situation come in your life, you gonna know it. One's in the chat. If you ever experienced real love, you knew what that shit was. Whenever you had an opportunity to make some money on, you knew what that shit was. When you know what it is, you also know everything that is not. And everything that is not is going to create karma. It's going to obstruct the path of soul realization. The first cause that the created would be the companion for the creator. Now, this is a raw read. I'm not I'm telling y'all, me and Edgar Casey got something going on, right? We got a spiritual connection. I don't know what that actual connection is, but you'd be a damn fool to think that the purpose of life is not companionship and establishing love and truth and working together and molding a life with someone. You a damn fool. And if you fumble the bag, so to speak, that's you being fucked up. The first cause was that the created would be the companion for the creator. Once again, you thought I was talking about your baby daddy. No, I wasn't talking about that. I'm talking about a relationship with your soul. You got to be clear on that shit. Because a relationship with your soul begins the model for relationships. When you have a relationship with your soul, it's easy to be in a relationship with another person because you're modeling your relationship on how your soul loves you unconditionally. So once you understand your soul loves you unconditionally, why would I then look at another woman and tell her to kiss my ass? My soul don't make me kiss his ass. My soul loves me unconditionally. Therefore, that model of how I love another person is unconditionally. If you don't have that initial relationship, you picking and choosing niggas. And I feel, and the problem, and it's so succinct throughout the whole diaspora of human beings, when you love conditionally, those conditions will double back on you and you're going to be unhappy. When you love unconditionally, you have no choice but to be happy because I'm not picking and choosing how my love is going to show up. I'm just knowing that it is going to show up and I'm not ignorant. I'm like a fucking tiger. If I be in my masculine, it's going to attract females or attract the opposite species. I need to learn how to fucking hunt. And I need to actually learn how to protect. That is what you do as an animal. The fuck? So that animalistic nature is much more spiritual than a nigga going to work every day, believe it or not. What the hell? How you gonna look down on a tiger and your ass gotta clock in and clock out every fucking day? How to make it make sense? That tiger is roaming the fucking Serengeti, about to eat a fucking gazelle's ass. And your ass gotta motherfucking clock in and clock out and listen to a motherfucker tell you what to do. And it's 2024. I know those jobs is treacherous. They giving you motherfucking percentages. You was 5% off your target last week, so you know you're gonna have to improve that, or we're gonna fire you and ruin your whole livelihood. You know you're not gonna be able to find a job after this one. For real, if you really think about it. Yeah, we know you working 10 hours, but we gonna need you to work 11 hours. You need more time with your kids? Actually, we don't give a fuck. Yeah, we don't. We're trying to hire people who don't have kids. Yeah, we want to work you to death. Yeah, yeah. Oh, we don't give a fuck about your personal life at all, ma'am. Hey, can you afford to come back and forth? That's all we care about. Hey, you're gonna pay your fucking car note. You're gonna pay your rent. You're gonna live and work. Yeah, you're nothing like a lion. And the first cause was that the created would be the companion for the creator. That it, the creature, damn, I'm not even trying to do this shit on purpose. It's just happening that way. The creature would, through its manifestations in the activity of that given unto the creature, show itself not only to be worthy of, but companionable to the creator. Okay? How do we know that we have a creator? Because of Marvel. That's people creating something in a cinematic universe that don't is not really existing. It's not a real thing. But we created it. That's what humanity is. It's not really real, but somebody created it. To which you figure out the person that created it is the human, then now you got to deal with the divinity within yourself. And you have to build a relationship with the divinity in yourself. That's what billions of Christians, Muslims, and Jews are looking for. They're looking for God, but they're looking for God in the temple, in the Torah, in the Bible, but God is within them. And this and you will always miss the mark. That's what sin is. Sin represents missing the mark. When God is when Jesus asks, "Where am I?" and it says, "I am in your midst. I am within you." That's what the fuck it is. You got to find that part within you and develop that relationship. And the problem is, across the whole diaspora, motherfuckers will love their baby daddy more than they love their soul. Motherfuckers will love their boyfriend more than they love their soul. Love their husband more than they love their soul. Love their family more than they love their soul. Love their job more than they love their soul. And then will sit around, pace back and forth in their room, scratching their head like, what the fuck? What am I gonna do now? Your companion is your soul. And if you don't have that companion, you are a shitty friend, shitty wife, shitty girlfriend, shitty boyfriend, shitty husband, shitty son. Just shitty all the way around. You can't help it. You can't help it. And I knew what it was like to be a shitty all the way around person and couldn't help it, doing the best that I can. But when I'm fucked up to Kyrie, I'm fucked up to everybody. Meaning the self, the soul. When I'm fucked up to my essence, there's no way I could have a positive relationship with anybody. Hence, every form of life that man sees in the material world is in essence, it seemed like I'm reading ahead, but I'm really not. Hence, every form of life that man sees in the material world is in essence or manifestation of the creator. Not the creator, but a manifestation of a first cause. And in its own sphere, its own consciousness of its activity in that plane or sphere. So let's break this paragraph down because there is this universal cause and effect that is not real. There's only individual cause and effect. There is, why are you on earth? What is your purpose here? You can spend a lot of time wanting niggas, wanting to go to the club, wanting to travel, wanting to shop, wanting to do a whole bunch of things that you may or may not do, or you can figure out the purpose of your existence. Once you realize that God is in everything, God is in you, you can't actually operate in a world where nobody sees you because spirits are all around you. Yes, we seen you masturbate last night. Yep, we seen it. We seen it. You was horny. We get it. But you didn't get that one off. Man, y'all gotta watch that Kevin Gates interview. I wanted to react to that, but it's like 42 minutes long, but I still might do it. It's real good. It's real good. He talking about a lot of shit. Um, but he was talking about masturbation, and he said that masturbation is a cowardice act. It because you wouldn't masturbate in front of people. You wait till you get alone, quotes, air quotes, alone, air quotes, so you can jack one off. But the reality is that it's spirits all around you. That's why pornography is much more better than having casual sex, because the ignorance that nobody is watching you have sex when your grandma, grandpa, everybody in that room watching you have sex. Every time you have sex, somebody is watching. It's spirits all around you. Every time you masturbate, somebody is watching you. It's only ignorance that we live in to not understand the spirits around us, because the spirits cannot be perceived consciously. And when you look at the material world is just a result of the spiritual reality. So if ever you wanted to change your spiritual reality, you would then have to start to notice that you already create everything that you see. Everything that you see is an aspect of you. And it's so close to you. Just think about your bank account. Your bank account is connected to you, but it's not connected to you. You can't actually see it, but everywhere you go, in essence, your bank account is with you. What's up? So, if we're able to understand a simple thing like a bank account, we should be able to understand the soul. We should be able to understand spirit. Can you perceive your bank account? Like, can you actually tangibly see it? Is your bank account a real thing? If your bank account had a, like, ain't it amazing? I think it's always amazing that, because I used to be like super broke, but something as simple as like buying gas, and I give them my debit card, and I know I got the money on my card, so it's like 20 on pump five. I do that shit so confidently now, and I just remember like giving a nigga a card like 20 on five, and be like the moment between it being approved and unapproved, I'm just kind of on bated breath, like please let it be $20 in this account. Like, that's all energy. That's all God level shit. If you don't understand that, then you are missing the point. The way that I feel about my financial life at a necessity level, like I could never even get to that level again. Like, if like I can't imagine myself getting to that level again. But at the same time, this is the same representation that you can have with your soul. The same level of confidence. Because you can write on a piece of paper, that's you being a creator. You think that you existed in this world just spawned out of nothing? That don't even make sense. You were created. This is why a spiritual relationship is much more supreme than a relationship with a nigga kissing your ass. Love. I don't want love. I want spiritual development. I don't even care if you like me or hate me. Do you love your soul like I love my soul? Do you want to get to know your soul like I want to get to my soul? Let's do that together. And let's not fight each other and let's not hurt each other. Because my soul never fought me. My soul never hurt me. My soul always healed me when I fucked myself up. I'm pain free in sound, same mind and body, but it wasn't always like this. But my body have a way of knowing what it needs to heal itself through herbs and other things. And I'm very grateful for the ability to have a relationship with my soul and be keyed into what I need to do in real life, IRL. You feel me? I don't have a job. Like for real. I'm not saying that to brag. Meaning that if I don't figure it out every single day, ain't no money coming in. No internet getting paid, no phone bill getting paid, no nothing. No car, no gas, no nothing. So my soul, having this relationship with my soul have helped me navigate the matrix in real life. And I mean that shit. Because I love God. If you love God, that means God will love you. But you got to understand that you were created. See, if you don't like your body, your fucking fingers, your mind, you think you created that? Your vessel, how explain to me how your ass created it and explain your baby daddy at the same time. Do that at the same time. Explain to me how you created your vessel, and then now explain to me why you chose that nigga to be your baby daddy. Because both things can't be the same thing at the same time. You got to begin to love a higher power more than you, or else this whole world don't even make sense. That's like you drawing a picture and your picture just saying, oh shit, I am that I am. How I drew you. You're nothing. I could crumble the paper right now and you won't exist. God can give you a disease right now. You can't cure it. Anything can happen in this world. That's representing your soul consciousness, a level of humility, a level of unconditionality. Because you'll keep coming back and keep being ignorant. You won't have no navigation, and good to have navigation in real life. But that ain't even a place where you really need to navigate. When you transition out the body, you need to navigate. Because boy, oh boy, a lifetime of ignorance. I wouldn't wish that on nobody. That's worse than prison. That's worse than prison. And we talking about morals and dogma. And the reason that Spirit showed me, or Dolph showed me morals and dogma, because he said humans think that morals and dogma is God. If I'm a good person and I go to church every Sunday, I'm better than a person that's a bad person and don't go to church every Sunday. And that's not true. Your morals and dogma are just that, morals and dogma. If you don't have a relationship with your soul and then show that same relationship with mankind in your intimate relationships, you cheating on a nigga, you lying to a nigga, you backdooring a nigga, you doing them dirty, all because you don't love God. Hence, let me continue. Hence, as a man in this material world passes through, there are the manifestations of the attributes that the consciousness attributes to or finds coinciding with. Very simple. If consciously I love God and everything that he created, I can't hate my girlfriend. I can't hate my mother. I can't hate my life. I can't do it because my consciousness is attuned to love. Now walk with me. I need you to be honest about the inconsistencies in your consciousness in reference to your lack of love for God. What happened to make you question God's love for you? Because that is where your consciousness is going to be. But that's not the truth. Yesterday, we talked about truth and love. Truth means it works. A lie means it doesn't work. So if there is a negative relationship between, the truth is, if I draw a piece of paper, that piece of paper is my creation, and I'm the creator. To which, if that creation wants to continue, it has to build a relationship with me psychically. It has to give me a backstory. It has to give me a reason to animate it. It has to give me a reason to create a screenplay. It has to be a reason for me to present it to a director. It has to be a reason for a studio to buy the show. It has to be a reason for people to go to the movies and watch it. It has to be a reason for a little kid to get an action figure. All of these come with a cause. That cause is creation. Creation and then psychic development, which brings other people in. This is what he means when in this material world passes through, there are manifestations of the attributes that the consciousness attributes to or finds coinciding with. That activity, which is manifested, hence becomes then as the very principle of the law would govern an entrance into a manifestation. Then a soul, the offspring of a creator, entering into a consciousness that became a manifestation. Hold on. Entering into a consciousness that became a manifestation in any plane or sphere of activity, given that free will for its use of those abilities, qualities, conditions in the experience, demonstrates, manifests, and shows forth that it reflects in its activity towards that first cause. So everything in life could either be the same way as we discuss chakras. We could go with the flow or go against the flow, because you were created out of love, unconditionally, without any praise, without any recognition. Your soul consistently loves you. But if you feel unloved by your mother and father, now you have a hang up. But your mother and father are not your soul. They're not going to love you unconditionally. If you expected love from your family and they didn't love you the way you were supposed to, that wasn't their motherfucking job. Who gives a fuck? Nobody incarnated on this earth to love you. You were incarnated to represent the soul's love for you onto the planet. When you love unconditionally, the law is that nobody has to love you back. You're loving as a attribute of the soul. You are like the soul. You are like God, because God created you in his image to be like God. Do people love God? No, they don't. Do they reciprocate God's energy? No, they don't. Do they kiss God's ass? No, they don't. They act like God don't exist and God created them. That shouldn't be your reason for operating in ignorance. Everything should reflect the activity towards that first cause. That first cause is creation. Creation out of truth and love. What is truth and love? Toes, feet, knees, legs, thighs, Sexual organs, hips, groins, arms, stomach, intestines, hearts, lungs, all of that shit work. That's truth. That's creation out of love. A deep breath, that's love. Your boyfriend can never give you a deep breath of oxygen. He gonna help you lose your breath, driving you crazy. Love God more than you love your boyfriend. Don't obsess over your fucking boyfriend and don't obsess over God. That don't even make sense. You love this nigga more than you love God. That's a problem. You got to rethink it. You got to readjust it. Hence, in the various spheres that man sees that are demonstrated, manifested in and before self, even in a hold on. Hence, in the various spheres that man sees, even in the material world, all forces, all activities are a manifestation. That's why I don't worry about how things are going to be. It's just all about purifying the mind, body, and the specific circles to make sure that everything is a part of this actual process. Because even in the material world, all forces and activities are a manifestation. Then that which would be companionable, the at oneness with, the ability to be one with, becomes necessary for the demonstration or manifestation of those attributes in through all force, all demonstration in the sphere. Because an atom, a matter, a form is changed, does not mean that the essence, okay? This is basically saying because you enter into a different body, that does not mean who you are as a soul has changed or the reason for life has changed. The reason for life in AD 2020, in AD 200, in BC 2000 have been the same. Demonstrate God's love that God love has for you to other people until it's over with. And then you'll figure it out through truth, through like you gotta build it. You don't know what the building is gonna look like till you build. And as uninitiated but initiated Freemasons through DNA, we must build our temple. We build our temple through acts. Because this is who we are. And a motherfucker will go through 33 initiations into a secret society and never be what we are at a spiritual level. Because an atom, a matter, a form is changed, that does not mean that the essence, the source, or the spirit of it has changed. You don't know who you are. You think because you changed bodies that you are this body, and you're not the body. You are the soul that inhabits the body. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. That book is available $99.99 on Amazon. I was giving it away for free, not no more. Only in its form of manifestation and not in its relation with the first cause. Only in its form of manifestation and not in its relation with the first cause. That man reaches that consciousness in the material plane of being aware of what he does about or with the consciousness of knowledge. The intelligence, the first cause, makes or producing that which is known as the entering into the first cause. Principle, basis, or the essences that there may be demonstrated and that manifested for that which gains for the soul, for the entity, that which make the soul an acceptable companion to the creative force, creative influence. As to how, where, when, and what produces the entrance into a material manifestation of an entity, a soul. Let's read a little bit more, get a basis. In the beginning was that which set in motion that which is seen in manifested form, with the laws governing say. So you can't actually say that you evolve in humanity, because in the beginning, the life that is now, the laws are the same, right? That's why people be on their phones doing shit, and like everything, like it's like you can transition and your Instagram page just still be up. Make it make sense, right? What are we actually watching? The inability of destroying matter, the ability of each force, each source of power or contact produces that which is a manifestation in a particular sphere. This may be seen in those elements used in various manifested ways of preparing for man. In many ways, those things that bespeak of the laws that govern man's relationship to the first cause or God. Now, please understand, this is the first time he ever even said God in the thing. But I know what he's getting at, because it's like reincarnation. To summarize, is this: when you do not have a relationship with God, you come back. But going to church, going to the mosque, going to the temple, listen to Bobby Hemmett videos, one and the same thing, is not God. These are morals and dogma. Even your spiritual life, even because I would used to burn a lot of herbs, but then I stopped because I felt myself doing it almost like a dogma of some sort. I wasn't really doing it. I really didn't really feel what I was doing. So now the desire to burn herbs again or have herbs burnt, I really want to make that connection. I really want to understand. I really want to like give thanks to the ancestors and to the spirits around me through offering of incense, of resins, of herbs. I really want to make that connection. And that is the first cause. Because I can't easily say why I've been here, why I reincarnated. I'm understanding that. Every day I'm understanding. And I'm also trying to like not come back as a little baby again and do this shit all over. I really don't want to go through that again. And have my whole memory removed and have to recover all of these lost aspects that I've found through this lifetime. Like, it's good. I've been here for a while on some bullshit, and I'm trying to get up off. And I'm telling y'all the truth. Fuck everything else. Fuck money. Fuck everything. Do you love God? Because y'all ain't ready to have that conversation. I know y'all not ready to have this conversation. It's everything else. It's everything else. The first cause is God. Then this is the principle: like begets like. Those things that are positive and negative forces combine to form in a different source or different manifestation. The combination of each element with each first principle manifested has gained from its associations that which has been brought to bear by self or that about it to produce that manifestation. Hence, man, the crowning of all manifestations in a material world, a causation world, finds self As listen, hence man, the crowning of all manifestations in a material world, a causation world, finds self as the cause. And we know self means the soul. Like you are the cause. Your purpose is the cause and the product of that. So that's even more mind blowing. What you want out of life is yourself and what you produce. Think about that shit. You upset because you ain't did shit. You ain't produced shit. Because you ain't. I know what it's like to be broke as fuck. Broke as fuck to me is being so far away from God. Even in my 20s, when I was 16, I had a relationship with God. And I had my shit together at all points in between and been fucked up all points in between because I really wasn't serious about my love for God. I played with this shit. I love God on a conditional basis. I promise you I did. I promise you my relationship with God was, if you can help me out of this bind, God, I will go to church. I promise you that was my relationship with God. If you can get me out of this bullshit, God, oh my God, I promise you I'll be a good Christian. That was my relationship with God. I'm not going to lie to you. Through my spiritual development and through my walk as a mystic, it kind of, as a business, right? That was a little caveat. It caused me to be a little bit more consistent with my spirituality. But going through this actual reading, I'm starting to understand and become more inspired in the man that I want to become, because I also understand that my sincerity with God have also produced that same sincerity in my life. And sometimes I get a little scared, y'all, about life and how shit is going to play out. But this reading is actually teaching me that I need not worry about how my life is going to work out. I need to learn how to love God more and figure out my purpose more. Because God will produce for me. He has produced for me. Am I the only one? Have God produced for you in your life? Are you a product of God's love for you in your life? One's in the chat. Hence, the crowning of all manifestations in the material world finds self as the cause and the product of that he, man, with those abilities given. God didn't put you down here for nothing. I know you got talent, skills, and abilities. I know y'all baby daddies ain't y'all baby daddy for no reason. Some of those abilities was that reverse cowgirl, but we're going to leave that for another discussion. With those abilities given, he has been able to produce, demonstrate, or manifest from that the soul has gained, does gain, in the transition, the change, the going toward that from which he came. You didn't just spawn like fucking Fortnite. God created you. Thus, when you understand that and you go towards that, you will be able to produce, demonstrate, and manifest from that perspective. Periods, times, places, that which is builded in its own place, each in its time. That is shown to man in the elemental world about him. Man's consciousness of that about him is gained through that he, man, does about the knowledge of that he is. Hold on. This motherfucker be just talking, huh? This is shown to man in the elemental world about him. Man's consciousness of that about manifested has gained from its associations that which has been brought to bear by self or that about it to produce that manifestation. Did I read? Oh, I read that. Oh, I'm reading the same thing twice. That's the problem. Okay. Let's try this one more again, y'all. Man's consciousness of that about him is gained through that he does about the knowledge of that he is. Whoa, this boy actually spitting when you actually break it down. He said, he said, the more you learn about yourself, that is the more that you do. He is in relation to that from which he came and towards which he is going. So when you think about the soul, it is the past version of you, it is your past lives, but it also is who you are becoming. It is the truth, it is the way, it is the light, it is the salvation, it is your savior, it is everything that you are becoming. When you align your consciousness with your soul, that is your purpose. That is why you are here. You are here to figure out you. You are the knowledge. You are the book. Chakra Nova is available on Amazon and Columbian Exchange. Knowledge of that he is. You are the knowledge. You have things to learn about yourself. You better start drawing. You better start twerking. Man, I know some goddamn strippers that's more spiritual than good girls. Real talk, I follow a spiritual stripper. Not even a stripper. Because you just don't even understand. There's some spiritual healers out here shaking ass. That's way better than the girls that's not shaking ass. That's all I'm going to say. It ain't about morals. It ain't about dogma. It's about truth and love. Do you love your body enough to show it off? Oh, you hate your body, so you wear big baggy clothes to cover it up, but somehow you better than a person that wearing a thong in the wintertime. I'm going to finish with this. Hence, in man's analysis and understanding of himself, it is as well to know from whence he came as to know whether he is going. All right, so I really just wanted to do that video, man, because it just seemed as though my spirit wanted to explore that. And as I find it, I had a little bit more of a revelatory process when I go live and read this material. I probably would have been bored if I read it by myself. So thank y'all for coming on this morning journey with me as I begin to ship out some orders for Columbian Exchange. Just want to thank y'all. Make sure y'all go to ColumbianExchange.com. The whole store is 25% off. You don't need a coupon code. Get your herbs together, things of that nature, and save some money. Visit White Rabbit's site, of course. Get your goddamn psychedelics and things of that nature. And like yesterday, I will open it up for any questions on the material that we discussed in the chat. As this video play for like 2 to 3, 4 minutes, something like that. If y'all had any questions on the material, please ask it now. But with that said, like the video, share the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And as much as I can do videos, I will do. Just something that I enjoy doing to just kind of start my day. Just something that I've been doing for years, because the spiritual path, you can easily forget the spiritual path based upon this world that we live in. And I don't know how to be disciplined and consistent on the spiritual path other than learning and sharing. And that's just what I do on this channel. We learn together, we share together, and we love, right? So peace to the tribe, and hopefully you understand that this ain't your first lifetime. And if you don't understand that this ain't your last lifetime, this might not be your last lifetime, and you would just keep living on Earth over and over and over again for no fucking reason. And that don't even make sense to me. Find your soul, find your purpose for reincarnating this life. Find God's love out, like find the fact that God loves you, and share that love with other people. Don't be a crusty ass bitch out here. You feel me? All crustified calcified pineal gland because a nigga cheated on you in 1997. right? We don't give a fuck about that. For real. We don't care that nigga cheated, man. Get over that shit. We all been cheated on. You understand? That's part of life. It's part of our initiation. You gotta get cheated on. So the fuck what, right? That means you stop loving. That don't even make sense. All right. Peace to the tribe. Peace to the fam. We'll see y'all on the flip side. Thank y'all for all your support and love.
What's up, guys? This is Kyrie with White Rabbit Psychedelics, and I get a lot of questions of, is it safe? If I take a microdose capsule, will I go crazy? I'm a little weary. So I just wanted to do a quick little video on what happens when you take a pill, and just let you know that nothing crazy is going to happen, nothing weird is going to happen. I got a capsule right here. This is pure grade A, psilocybin. I'm going to take a capsule, and I'm going to just show you guys that just nothing can happen. Huh.
The claustrum is a really thin sheet of gray matter in the brain, tucked deep within each of the hemispheres of the brain.
Fred believes the claustrum's central location and shape suggest it regulates communication between the departments.
What happens next is that we seem to observe a radical change in the way that brain regions talk to each other. And it may be within this context that we're experiencing learning and a possible even rewiring of the circuits that govern our behavior. And it may be that it's that radical reorganization that allows people to encounter new psychological insights that they hadn't encountered before.
It's almost like they've seen this kind of grand menu within their mind that they weren't aware of, that this greater number of possibilities that they can explore.
It's like reprogramming the operating system of a computer. You're getting down to very basic code level changes that can enduringly change someone going forward.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash turned you on to LSD. What was that like? Tell me a little about that.
How much time we got?
About a minute. But you can do a lot in a minute.
A minute?
Yeah.
Okay, it took the fear of death away.
Really? That's a great
That's a big
answer.
one, yeah.
That's a great answer. But did it hold?
Yeah.
Do you have to keep taking it
Did
to
it
not
what,
be
it hurt?
scared? No, did it hold? Did the lack of fear, the losing the fear of death?
Oh yeah, oh sure, absolutely. Once
So-
you've lost the fear of death, it doesn't matter.
How did it, what happened to you? How did that manifest?
Oh my dear, have you heard of the white light? Have you ever heard of that?
Only when I'm going into Jersey.
Well, I went into this place that was the white light, where everything's okay.
Well, I think that's worth
I think
taking. Yeah.
And I think it ought to be mandatory that all our politicians should do it at least once.
That's a good suggestion. I remember reading that Cary Grant went on an acid trip also in the old days. So a lot of Hollywood people seem to like LSD.
Yes, and college students and high school students and doctors and lawyers and dentists.
The claustrum is a really thin sheet.
Ain't no reason I